What's up, Champions fam? It's Zeke 4-0, back with a brand new WWE Champions video. Now, in a couple of hours, we are going to be seeing the conclusion of The Rock's Legacy Tribute MLC. We just got done a Flash Feud weekend that was really fun and entertaining. I hope that you were all able to capitalize and dominate when it pertained to the Flying Hawaiian Solo and Faction contest that came along with the official debut of Technician Legend, High Chief Peter Maivia. But now, with this MLC wrapping up, please make sure that you've completed all of your limited time tours as well as done your Jey Uso blitzes. Then make sure to capitalize on the prize wall and, of course, cash out on the league shop. But with that being said, with this MLC concluding, that means another month long is about to begin. And this time, it is the Beasties and Beauties. Now, one cool thing about this setup is we are getting the Kickoff Talent Up contest. We're getting the Solo and Faction leaderboard rewards, of course. You're going to have your limited time tours. You're going to have your blitz for the free-to-play unit. And not only are we getting the prize wall, but we are getting another league shop. So make sure to go onto the portal. Always get your tickets there so you can capitalize throughout this MLC and get more TP and coins to help out your account moving forward. But with that being said, I have seen a lot of mixed feelings about the free-to-play and chase units this time around because we are getting the Bushwhackers. Now, let's be real. This is an interesting situation. We are getting New Gen Showboat Butch, not Bruce. My apologies from the previous video. He is going to be the free-to-play unit, and the chase champion for this Beasties and Beauties month-long contest is going to be his partner in crime, New Gen powerhouse Luke. Now, a lot of people are feeling some type of way about these two guys being the free-to-play and chase characters. But at the end of the day, I had to take a moment years and years ago to understand and ultimately appreciate one's legacy. Not just one clip of their life, but the overall product that was made when it came to forging their path. And when it comes to wrestlers, you can't just be that person who's a WWF, WWE biased type of person where you only care about what's in the WWE and the WWF because that's all you've known in your life. When you get to learn about the different careers and journeys of these different men and women who have entertained us for years, you get a brand new respect for them. Now, I will agree that during the New Gen period, a lot of characters were hit and miss, and the Bushwhackers could easily been put across as a straight-up comedy shtick. But when you go back and look at what these two guys did, these two men from New Zealand, repping it to the fullest, going under tag team names such as the Kiwis, such as the Sheep Herders, when you realize that these dudes, even though they never captured the WWF tag team titles, they held gold in Stampede Wrestling territory. They held gold in the NWA. They were true journeymen of the sport, and they went to multiple territories to hone their skills and craft before they landed in the WWF. It's the same thing that can be applied when you look at someone like Vader. Vader didn't do much in the WWF, but when you see what he did in WCW, when you've seen what he's done in New Japan, you have a different respect for him. Look at Ric Flair, what he did in the WCW and NWA before he got to WWE. He didn't need the title. He got the title when he originally showed up in the WWF. Yes, he did that with the Royal Rumble and all. But looking at how prestigious his career was, ultimately, Ric Flair literally could show up to work and didn't even have to wrestle a match because he was just that good. And his career showed you that. You couldn't go up against the numbers. The Bushwhackers are in the same situation where their time in WWF might be looked at as a blemish and you question why they're in the WWE Hall of Fame. But then when you get the full story and you see what they've done, all throughout, you get a different aspect of the characters that were portrayed, the men behind the characters. And so, with that being said, I understand if you disapprove. You don't want the Bushwhackers as the MLC free to play and chase champions. But look, hopefully by the end of this month long, you walk away with a new respect for them, because these guys, again, were pioneers of wrestling. They were taking part in early day hardcore matches before that became a thing. So I get why some people might be hesitant, but just give it a chance. We got some exclusive 5-star gameplay coming soon, so we're going to be checking it out from the broskies, thanks to the good old folks over at Scopely, and see what these people can do. And ultimately, it's an iconic tag team for better or worse. They serve their purpose. They entertained us one way or the other. And even though it didn't seem like they did much in the WWF, one thing they also did is they basically put other tag teams over. They put other superstars over so that they could become bigger. So they played their role even if they didn't walk away with the gold. Because sometimes one's career should not just be established and depicted for the amount of championships you have. Sometimes it's what you do in your career that's far more important and far more impactful compared to the amount of gold that you accumulate. So this is going to be an interesting situation. And plus, with it being Beasties and Beauties, obviously Beasties being a play on Besties, it makes me wonder what could we see in here, because I mentioned Alundra Blaze coming in here would be perfect timing. I would love to see my bae Bull Nakano show up here. One other way that they can go about this is, since Beasties is a play on Besties, like best friends, because that's what the Bushwhackers were, right? Maybe we get something interesting. Maybe we end up seeing Lay Cool enter the game because they were tight. Michelle McCool and Leia, or Layla. That would be an interesting situation there. Another interesting twist, because we got the tag team thing going on here. We could see Demolition. Demolition is another big tag team that is not in the game. And I think we would be closer to getting Demolition than we would be to getting, sadly to say this, the Road Warriors. It's just the truth. Until things are properly resolved, if they're either resolved with the family of Animal and WWF or WWE, pardon me, I don't know when or if the Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom, could come into the game. Because you could easily, like I just said, have them run 2 times over. You could have Animal and Hawk as the epithet of Legion of Doom, and you can also have Animal and Hawk as the epithet of the Road Warriors. And all you would really have to do, as sad as this could be, they're easily strikers and powerhouses. So one time, Hawk's a powerhouse, Animal's a striker. The next time, Animal's the powerhouse and Hawk's the striker. It makes perfect sense to me. It prints money because everybody wants to see the Road Warriors. But with this being Beasties and Beauties, it's about tag teams. I'm curious as to who we would get. It would be a huge burn if we end up getting Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, the Iconics, in the Beasties and Beauties. I don't know how I feel about that, y'all. I don't know, but y'all let me know, man. There's a lot of opportunity here. I'm just trying to think of some real dominant tag teams, or like teams that like showed off that they were real best friends. Another dope one, Too Cool. Grandmaster Sexy, R.I.P., and Scotty 2 Hotty coming into the game, getting a too cool link with Rikishi. That would be an interesting twist there, too. There's a couple of ways they could go about this. We could easily see members of Imperium come into play. We could easily see members of Undisputed Era come into play. Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong definitely could be in the game. NXT tag teams, opportunity there. So there is a lot of potential for this MLC. We just got to see how it goes. But having tag teams is definitely going to be interesting. Showdowns, of course, we already know the shtick there. But I want to see what the themes are going to be for the faction feuds. Having the prize wall and the league shop return for this is definitely going to make this a month-long already worth investing in. Me, personally, I'm down to go as far as I can, but I'm really trying to hoard up resources. So I might play it real light, do my limited time tours, participate in showdowns and faction feuds, do my weekly blitzes and everything. But as far as resources go, I've gotten to a solid amount of 5 stars that I'm really comfortable with just sitting this out and stockpiling resources. And to anyone out there who feels that they need to do the same, by all means, go ahead and partake. But we're getting Butch very soon, New Gen Showboat, as our free to play champion, and Luke is the chase. So, what are your thoughts on the Bushwhackers? Again, sometimes it isn't just about what the person did in one set situation. Sometimes you got to take a look back and see the grand scale of the career of an individual to make your proper, your proper evaluation. Because again, the Bushwhackers, not much in WWF, but Stampede Wrestling, NWA, multiple different wrestling territories that they worked for, walked away as tag team champions multiple times over. And look at people like Vader, someone who dominated in WCW and New Japan, but when it got to WWF, that was a botched opportunity due to politics and everything. And then look at someone who's not even in the game, Buff Bagwell. Buff Bagwell was always normally in a good spot in WCW. One match with Booker T in WWF, and boom, you're gone with the win. Shinsuke Nakamura, looking at him as the king of strong style. He hit a lot harder back over in New Japan. They softened him up a little bit. So people's styles change when they get to the WWF. They want to make it into their own product, and that's what they did with the Bushwhackers. They took these guys who were originally some, early day hardcore match pioneers, going by the Kiwis and the Sheep Herders who were collecting gold, going up against other great tag teams of that era, to, becoming a comedy shtick in the WWF when they could have been properly utilized and came in as a dominant tag team. But since they were near the end of their career anyway, they went ahead and put Newtown over. So that's something to be considered. They did their part one way or the other. You can look at a lot of superstars, and that can be said about the characters of how they were in WWE compared to how they were in prior companies and organizations, or even afterwards. But ultimately, I am excited to see the Bushwhackers come into the game because regardless, they are an iconic duo and they rightfully deserve to be in the Hall of Fame and they rightfully deserve to be making their debut here. So with that being said, y'all, hey yo, bad times don't last, but champions do. Mad love always and forevermore to each and every single one of you, of my beloved #champions fam. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to receive all future notifications from yours truly, the bad guy of WWE champions, Zeke 4-0. And until next time, let's chop it up within the comments below. But please be on the lookout for that exclusive 5-star gameplay that will be coming soon for our free-to-play champion for the month with New Gen Showboat Butch. And of course, let's see what that MLC Chase champion is going to do when it comes to gameplay for New Gen Powerhouse Luke. Bushwhackers officially coming into the game. Beasties and Beauties is the title of the month long. Who are the characters that are going to be introduced in this MLC? Only time will tell. But until next time, y'all, stay tuned. Peace!